Hey, what's up YouTube, Skybatcher here, and we're back on day 2 of our 22-player beta tournament series. So, we've progressed quite a bit since the last episode, and as we can see, we've pushed up and we've taken most of Krealia. We've also nearly eliminated the Cossack Republic, or Cossack, still not sure how to pronounce that. So, we're getting there at the moment. As we can see, we're just scouting out this fortification at the moment, and our troops are coming up and behind. I have diverted the anti-air piece off from this group, so the main infantry component can get up there faster. Now, we would, like to capture the city, but it's unlikely considering the Ukraine has already captured this province here and he's probably lining it up. So at least if we can capture this province here, it will give us a little bit more of an easier border to defend. So, yeah, there is that right there. It's also another 2 victory points, which is nice. City's only 3. We would like the city, but, we can't get everything. Stalingrad was really useful actually to capture. As we can see, it had some stuff in there. We got a barracks and a industrial center out of it. So with those under our hands, we don't need to spend any real material upgrading it, which is really, really good. So because of that, the industrial center is already level 2, so that's going to make things a lot easier, and we can save our rear for research and other industrial centers in our core. Our food production's also gone up, and that is slightly due to the capture of this province here, which I'm already upgrading, but it's also likely due to the fact that our industrial center is halfway done. We've also got infrastructure going up in the city up here. As I'm sure you've also noticed, we have shared map with Greater Finland. Now, at this point between me and Greater Finland, it's very beneficial for us to not necessarily work together, but to have some level of trust. That way he can send his troops up and use them elsewhere. In particular, I'd be worried about Sweden. He doesn't seem too worried about Sweden, but I mean, at this point, they're going to clash right here. If we have a look at this troop's going to get there in an hour and 17 seconds, but these troops here are going to get there in an hour and 2 minutes. And what's going to happen is when they meet there in the middle, they're going to be so close, I'm pretty sure it's going to initiate combat. I could be wrong about that, but I don't have a very good feeling about that. So, I don't know why his troops are down here. I assume when I attack Communist Russia in a second, he's going to come in for the land grab and take Leningrad and move down here. And, that does kind of suck for me, but it's just part of the game. As long as I get this province down here, I should be happy. I think getting down to Minsk might be pushing it a bit, but yeah, the more the merrier. We really need that food. We've had our aircraft out scouting, and we've been able to check these 2 provinces here, which is better than nothing. So, I mean, I know I can march straight into here, and then I can group some troops up and take that out. I've got these troops marching up here at the moment, because as we can see, my interceptor just doesn't have the range to scout those provinces, and it's not going by truck to scout them, it's going to fly. It's a nice new art right there. It's no longer a straight line. I wonder if I assume it still flies in a straight line, instead of taking the arc. That's going to be kind of odd. Anyway, so, that's the plan at the moment. We're marching forwards. These troops here are going to stop up here, basically, stop him from pushing back. And once this group here is done down here, these guys will push up into here and come down the south side of Communist Russia. In the north, as we can see here, I've got this group heading down, and depending on which one of these cities is least protected, I'll go in and I'll take that while I wait for reinforcements, and then take the heavier defended one later on. I've also got these troops here heading down. Now, although they are path to actually head into the city at the moment, they're going to stop and regroup depending on what sort of enemy troops are in here. If it's only 1 infantry, I'll send just the 3 in, but if there's any more than that, really, I want to group up with a group of 4 and send them in like that. That way we increase our chances. Now, we've also completed some more troops over the past couple of hours. As we can see, we have some anti-tank moving forwards. Now, in this battle here, anti-tank is not going to be very important or even useful, I guess. It's very unlikely that Communist Russia has any tanks. They do have a few armored cars, but that's just what you get early on anyway. So, they'll be useful against that, but they won't see too much use here. If we have a look at what we're building, we are building a few of them and some infantry. Now, the infantry components are being built where the infrastructure is lagging behind, so that I can get to light tanks as soon as possible. These here I built where I have time to actually build them, so I can get to light tank and start producing light tanks as soon as the research is done. So in 4 hours, with most of these provinces here, I can start building my light tanks as soon as possible. On top of that, I would like to get to artillery very, very quickly, but for the time being, I'm going to put it on the back burner. I'll probably end up splitting it and putting 50% of my production towards artillery and 50% towards light tanks. But at the same time, I mean, I've also got other stuff I need to do. I also need to research anti-air and start researching interceptor and getting towards tactical bomber. At this point, I mean, you guys know I love a good navy, but at this point, there's not really too much use for it. Until I get down to this area of ocean down here, what's this called? The Gulf of Finland? Oh, this part is called Gulf of Finland anyway. As soon as I get down into here, then a navy will become more important. At the moment, I could build a navy, but I'd really only be using it just to block this path up here, because that's the only really ocean border I have. If anyone was to attack up here, though, they have limited success. At most, they could take, you know, probably down to here until I had some form of response, but I find that unlikely they'd make it that far. They'd have to not only land, but then that's like a day's worth of travel right there, and I could easily reinforce it. So I'm not too worried. Considering I have shared intelligence with Greater Finland, I'm not too concerned about that side of things. So, as inviting as the water is, it's not really time to get into it. So, we will get to that soon. But in the meantime, we're just working on Communist Russia, and yeah, that's where we're going at the moment. So, I'll probably have do another video today. Close to that trip there. 12 minutes. Can I jump that? Yeah, I'll jump it. So I'll probably have another video made later on today and show some of the progress here. So it all depends on where his troops are, really. We're going to play this pretty defensively, so we're going to go in, take what we can. It will force him to counterattack if he wants to stand any chance, and we'll defeat him when he comes to counterattacks while we're on defense. As we are all aware, infantry is significantly better on defense than attack. So obviously we take territory and then force him to come take it back, and he'll take losses there. Like, I mean, we're going to take some losses capturing the cities, but I think at this point we definitely have the upper hand. If we have a look at what he's built, for example, we can see that some of these cities don't even have barracks in them, which is good. It means he's not producing infantry, and at most he might have some anti-tank. Really, that's really all about it. So I'm going to move on with this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.